Let's take a look at fill ratios for multiple items. This is, you also might call this an override. So this is a situation where you have an existing conduit with an existing cable and you want to add more capacity. In order to make this calculator work, you have to know what size of conduit is existing in the ground. So you either know the exact inner diameter of that conduit or we'll calculate that for you. Typically what you might have in your network is a smooth wall, 2.5 inch SDR11 conduit. So in the background, the calculator is calculating what those IDs are. And you might have an existing cable of 0.8 of an inch, for example. And so we've configured our conduit, we've added our cable, and the drawing is depicting that. Now we want to add some additional conduits or microducts on the inside so that we're creating space for that extra fiber or the override itself. On the drop down here, we've pre-selected some products for you to choose from, and we're going to start with looking at microducts. We'll pick a microduct size of 16 by 13 millimeter, 16 millimeter OD, 13 millimeter ID, and we're going to add those microducts in. So in the background, the calculator is calculating a fill ratio based on the cross-sectional area of the OD of the existing cable and any conduits we add on the inside over the cross-sectional area of the ID of the existing conduit. And we're looking for a fill ratio at 55% or less. So I'm going to move the slider over and I'm going to start by adding 2 microducts, and you can see them added in the drawing. The fill ratio is under 55%, so it says bingo. So let's see where our edge is here. So we'll add 4 microducts, and again, you can see the microducts added in the drawing, and our fill ratio is still underneath that magic number of 55%. So let's go for 6. So it's added the 6 microducts, but now instead of green, we have an orange. So the fill ratio is over the 55% that we're looking for. That's the ideal fill ratio or the suggested fill ratio. And while visually it looks as if those 6 microducts might fit, this could cause a problem with the installation. So let's move that back to 5 microducts because it's under 55%, and that would be a good amount of microducts to install for our override. So we like this configuration where we have a 2.5 inch SDR11 with an 0.8 OD existing cable and 5 1613 microducts, but we want to make sure we remember and retrain this information. So we'll hit the confirm button and we can download the final configuration. And it's great because it downloads a zipped file, and in that zipped file, it's going to have a technical data sheet for the size of microducts. So remember we picked the 1613 and it has all the technical specifications of the 1613 microduct. And it includes a drawing of what we configured. So it has the 2.5 inch SDR11 represented by the orange line. The black circle is the 0.8 OD fiber cable, and the dotted lines are the 5 1613 microducts. So you have an image as a reference, and you have the technical data sheets for the microducts.